And I didn't look why you would hurt me. It never crossed my mind that you were hurt too. I don't even know how come well, actually I do, because you've been positioned as a criminal and as an animal, so I'm not even going to see you as a human being. I'm going to see you like they teach me to see you. And I fell for it. And I didn't look it up. I didn't look at the research. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm guilty of that. I did that to you. I didn't ask why you hurt me. I just was hurt. And I didn't look. I didn't see how you've been cornered. Every way. I mean, every way, every decade, from chain gangs to hip hop. You're always getting blamed for violence, but we never talk about the record labels. We never talk about distribution. We always talk about the artists. We always talk about the black men being violent. Well, you don't get to choose what gets on air. You don't get to choose what you get to sign. If you don't do it the way that they say to do it, then you don't eat.
Throughout history, black men have been targeted, violence targeted, often rooted to systematic racism, uh, prejudice, and power struggles. We have examples of black men who were being targeted violently. Now, in today's video, it's shocking how this a black woman is asking forgiveness to men because she was taught to believe that all black men are criminals. Now, this she is in the USA. I want us to watch this video and then we react on it how we do always. And don't forget to subscribe. If you're first time watching this video, don't forget to subscribe. You can comment down there and like our video.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry, black man. Please forgive me. I didn't know, I didn't know. I didn't realize how trapped you've been. I didn't realize how you've been targeted and hunted, set up, lied on. I didn't know. And I want you to know that I apologize. I privileged my pain over yours. I did that. And there's no real excuse, but there is an explanation, okay? As a black woman in North America, because that's where I live, I've been taught how to relate to you through white supremacy. And I never gave you the benefit of the doubt. I just took the images, the stuff that I heard my mama say, when wounded women were talking about you, and then I had bad experiences with black men. I painted you all the same way that the cops paint you. And I'm wrong for that. Now, I am apologizing to you in two ways. One, as a black woman. Two, as a human being. Because what was taken from you was your humanity. Ever since slavery, ever since Nat Turner, ever since 1830, you have been criminalized. You have been positioned and targeted from kindergarten. By the time you're in the third grade, you're already set up to go to prison. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that they blocked you out of every type of trade so you couldn't make money for your family. I didn't know. I didn't know that the whole structure of what it means to be American is built upon your free labor for white structures, including the penal system. That you were designed to be the workforce for whiteness since you got here. And I didn't know that. And what's worse is I didn't look. I was so hurt by you that I justified my righteous indignation because I was hurt. And I didn't look why you would hurt me. It never crossed my mind that you were hurt too. I don't even know how come well, actually I do, because you've been positioned as a criminal and as an animal, so I'm not even going to see you as a human being. I'm going to see you like they teach me to see you. And I fell for it. And I didn't look it up. I didn't look for the research. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah. I mean, and I'm guilty of that. I did that to you. I didn't ask why you hurt me. I just was hurt. And I didn't look. I didn't see how you've been cornered. Every every way. I mean, every way, every decade, from chain gangs to hip hop. You're always getting blamed for violence, but we never talk about the record labels. We never talk about distribution. We always talk about the artists. We always talk about the black men being violent. Well, you don't get to choose what gets on air. You don't get to choose what you get to sign. If you don't do it the way that they say to do it, then you don't eat. You can't. And we make it sound like it's a character flaw when it's a structural, systematic way of keeping you in bondage. And I'm sorry for that. Because I say I love you, how come I didn't look? How come it didn't even dawn on me? I didn't even think that you could be hurt. I was so focused on my pain and all the ugly I had experienced at your hand that I didn't even think, well, hell, how did you get there? And I can say it now on the other side of healing. You see what I'm saying? I can say it now, but I couldn't say it when you needed it. When you needed me to believe you and not them. When you needed a safe space, just so I want to hear you out. I didn't listen. So I wanted to punish you. I wanted you to feel how you made me feel. I wanted you to feel the level of hurt and resentment and helplessness, never understanding that is why you lashed out. Anything that's cornered will strike. Anything that's trapped will fight. It's just in its human nature. And I so related to you the way white people have taught me to relate to you. I didn't even look. I didn't ask. I just sided with them. And I turned you into the enemy. And I was wrong. I was wrong. And I apologize. Now, you don't have to accept my apology, okay? You don't have to. It's not required, okay? And in truth, shit, I'm not even certain you should, given the fact that it took me 400 years to look the fuck back. You know what I'm saying? But what I want you to know is this. As a black woman, as a human being, I know what it feels like to be betrayed, to be lied on, to be beat, to be assaulted. I know what it's like. I just never imagined it happening to you. In my mind, I never saw you as a person. I saw you as an idea. I saw you as a threat. I saw you as the pictures on television. I just saw you the way they taught me to see you. And it served me. Let you be the scapegoat for my failings. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not scapegoating on you anymore, black man. I'm not. And I know there are a lot of black women who are wounded. And there's a lot of us who have healed. So I'm on behalf of those of us who have healed, who are willing to be accountable for our power, I apologize. And I want you to know that I forgive you. You didn't ask for this. You don't have to deal with this. Okay? But I forgive you.
Welcome back. Now, you have heard the video of how this lady has apologized to all black men. She's a black woman apologizing to black man because she was believing what she was told by the supremacists. She was believing what she was told, that black people or black men are most of them like criminals, for example, in the USA, and black men were targeted even the time of for those who are fighting for power struggles, fighting for black people, the likes of Malcolm X, likes of Medgar Evers. So, this lady, in her mind as a black woman, women has sympathy. In her mind, she thought that, oh, indeed, black man, he is a criminal. He didn't know that they are struggling to find the end meet, going through racism. When someone just sees a black man with huge body, he sees like he's someone who want to steal from me. It's happening. Let me tell you, for example, even here in Africa, in Kenya, whenever you're walking in the streets of a ghetto town and you see a huge black man or you see a dark person, sometimes how you are being taught about black people, you are just seeing danger. You're just seeing like, this guy want to snatch a handbag from me. We have historical figures who were eliminated as black men, like Emmett Till in 1955, who was brutally killed at age of 14 in Mississippi after being accused of whistling to a white woman. Okay? His murder and open casket funeral became a powerful symbol of civil rights movement and exposed the brutal realities of racial violence in Africa. This was a kid of 14 years. Just because he whistled to a white woman, he was eliminated in 1955 in Mississippi. You see? So if we talk about figures, political figures who are killed, we can talk about the people. Their killings changed the wave, we have a person like Fred Hampton, who was killed in 1969. Hampton was killed by Chicago police in a coordination raid, which was later revealed to involve FBI interference. Hampton was a significant advocate for black unity and community empowerment. We have person like Malcolm X in 1965. This was an influential leader of black empowerment. Malcolm X was assassinated in New York while speaking to his supporters. His activism and evolving message on race relation made him a polarizing figure in his lifetime. He was killed because he was championing for black people. But black women were made to believe that he was a criminal. Black women were made to believe that he was changing the wave of politics, or he wanted to take over government, or he wanted bad things to happen. This is how women, or black women, thought, because of what was being brainwashed on them. We have someone like Martin Luther King in 1968. King was a central leader in a non-violent civil rights movement, was assassinated in Memphis. His death came after years of advocating for equal rights, desegregation, and economic justice. He was fighting for people, fighting for black people, but he was being taken as a criminal and he was being gunned down and died. Now, we have recent cases of police violence to black men. Okay, for example, we have Trayvon Martin in just 2012. A 17 years old black teenager was shot and killed by George Zimmerman, who was a neighborhood watch coordinator in Florida. Martin's death and Zimmerman sparked nationwide conversation about racial profiling and the danger young black men face. So young black people are facing a lot of danger even in the community. Now, this 17 years old was killed by a neighborhood watch coordinator. It was a racial attack, and he was just killed like that. A black man, a black lady who have, they are going, ladies, the sympathy and everything, they are not going through a lot this, but black men are suffering in the hands, or they were suffering, or they are still suffering in the hands of the supremacists. Now we have Michael Jackson in 2014, uh, an armed 18 years old in Ferguson by police officer Darren Wilson ignited protest and the issue of Black Lives Matters, bringing attention to police violence and racial profiling. This is another incident of a young black man, only 18 years, ganged down and armed. We have someone like Philado Castile in 2016. Castile was fatally shot during a traffic stop. Imagine, in a traffic stop in Minnesota. Despite informing the officer that he was carrying a legal firearm, he was shot, and his death was captured on a video by his partner. And all this, the message was being sent that these are criminals. These young black men are criminals. We have someone like Hamadi Abari in 2020, just recently, a 25 years old black man was chased and killed by 3 men while jogging in Georgia neighborhood. You see? Just jogging. 3 white men chasing you down and killing you, thinking you are a criminal. The ones that trended most recently was of George Floyd in 2020. He was killed in a knee, under the knee of a Minneapolis police. And this sparkled massive global protest. His final words was, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." You see? And I Can't Breathe become a rally of black people, of Black Lives Matters movement. And they were demanding for racial justice and police reform. This one, it was bad. It was bad. We have Elijah McClain, 2019, at 23 years old in Aurora, was stopped by police while walking home. He was put in a chokehold and injected with a sedative, later dying from his injury. That's what police or black people or black men are going through in their day-to-day struggle. Even sometimes they are not doing something. They are just walking, jogging, driving, but being taken as a criminal. The targeting of black people or black men in the US, for example, is often a reflection of a broader systematic inequalities and biases. It shows, it's like a light, it shows how things is being done, how equality or equalities and biases is being in the white countries. Historically, the criminal justice system has affected black communities, leading to higher rates of incarceration and instances of police violence, housing discrimination, and economic marginalization have further compounded these disparities, leading to cycle of poverty and limited opportunities. So movements such as Black Lives Matters continue to raise awareness and advocate for police change, addressing issues like police reform, community investment, and equal opportunity to combat systematic racism. And mind you, these black people are the one who built this country. These black people are from Africa, and the white people are getting a lot from Africa, but they don't care about your life. They don't care whether you are young or whether you are old. They don't care what you are doing. Most of these cases are cases that is not a criminological cases. Like George Floyd was not in any criminal attempt. The 14 years old, just for whistling, was killed. Some were killed by fighting for their justice. Some were killed by just driving, maybe in a traffic, being stopped and killed. It's bad. So black women did not know what's going through. Those who knew, the few of them, even some of black women, they have. It's very interesting when they came across black men and always think that these people are criminals. I know we have these things we call a black culture, where in hoods where black men are there carrying guns with some tattoos, and they're drug dealers, and people think that it's all black people who are just like that. Some of them are trying to survive, and trying to survive as a black man in the USA is very hard. Trying to survive as a black man in a country full of racism and discrimination or segregation is very, very tricky. That's why most of them are being killed. So, black women, all of you, you need to be educated and see that not all black men are bad. Some of them are not criminals. Those who have killed aren't criminals. But the system has made you to believe that all black men in the street, in the hood, in the corridors, when you see them, run. That's how the system has brainwashed us. It's happening even here in Africa. When you see a young man aged like me, a very black man or a dark man aged like me following you in a corridor, you run because when you see a white man following you, a brown guy, a black brown guy, an African brown guy here in Nairobi, when you see a brown guy following you, you are not, you can't doubt or you're just okay. But a very brown or a very dark young man following you behind in a corridor somewhere in Nairobi, you will run. That's how it is. So I don't know what you think on the comment section. Do black women need to apologize? Do we need to see videos like this, black women apologizing to black men? But I think these apologies, when it comes from a black woman, that means that as a continent or as a race of black people, we too, we are waking up and opening our eyes and seeing that all the history that we are being told, the education we are being taught, all of them is not okay. So we need to change. We need to educate ourselves. We need to be great as black people so that we cannot be fed by lies and make us to hate our own people. Tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. I am the Kenyan Beast. If you are first time being here, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. You can join the membership channel. You can be part of this channel. Until next episode, peace be with you.